And it is Saturday night.
And one of us is in New York.
Live from Syracuse.
It's Saturday Night Live.
You need to go to like a live show one day, trench to storm the stage, or try.
What's up, everybody? Tonight we're doing a movie, Scream 3, and I am joined by my good friends, the Soulless Trenchcoat. That looking chap down here below me is the most. And we got the ever so sexy Art Bremer join us as well. And we are going to discuss, well, what I call the travesty of the Scream franchise, and that's Scream 3. I'm going to start it off by saying I didn't like this movie a whole lot. It made no sense. It was a bunch of. It's like they just threw everything at the wall, and whatever stuck, that's what they used.
I have to say it was It's an interesting movie, but if I was to give it my personal opinion, all you've got to do is add a bit of slapstick in there, and you've got what Scary Movie should have been.
Yeah, I would agree with that assessment.
Mm-hmm.
I think she had potential. Like, I like the movie enough. It's just the ending brings it down for me. The ending kind of keeps it from being like a good movie. Like, I feel like it's an okay movie, but it's not a good movie.
I think we all need to keep in mind that this wasn't what the movie was intended to be originally, too.
Yeah. No, you're right. This was not the original, what they had in mind for the original movie. And, due to circumstances that were beyond their control, they had to reshuffle everything and do a whole new script. But
with that in mind, I can let a few things slide.
Yeah, I can let a few things slide, but
because they didn't take a long time to rewrite. I mean, they were pretty quick with getting the new story, everything done pretty quick.
For sure.
Yeah, I can let a few things slide, but the emasculation of Billy and Stu, who were just who set this franchise up for the success that it had. No, that's inexcusable.
Oh, for sure. That's why I don't like the movie. Because instead of bringing the villain up, like building him up on his own, they had to bring down the two original killers from the first film to build him up. And that's not how you build up your character. Man, you build him up on his own merits. Don't bring other people down to bring your character up, especially classic characters,
I take the We're the Millers girl and the McCulkin boy from number 4 over Roman.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yes. Roman was interesting in his own way, but oh my God, he was a whiner throughout. And then
this is the statement I've made more than once. Lance Henriksen should have been the villain of that movie. You look at Roman, he looks like the biggest fucking crybaby on the face of the planet.
Yep.
You look at Lance Henriksen and you go, that's a scary motherfucker. I don't want to mess with him.
Yeah. Or maybe Lance and Roman working together, and Lance is the smart leader. you know,
Roman's the bitch boy. Roman,
sort of like Rebellions too, but not as good.
Roman takes the butt.
Roman takes it in the butt, more like it.
Studio's gonna be so pissed at me.
Hey, it's a vet hurt.
You hit me with the contracts, you dick.
I'm feeling a little woozy here, bitch.
Isn't it bizarre that some of the best lines that we're coming with are from movie 1, 2, or 4?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's because Scream 3. Because Scream 3 had no memorable lines.
it's weird because, like, then she had something cool when she shot him, I think, but it's like, I forget what it was. I mean,
Exactly. You forgot what it was.
In the first one, when she shoots him in the head, well, not in my movie.
yeah, that's one of my favorites. That and the quote from the fourth one. You forgot something, Jill, about remakes. Don't fuck with the original. Don't fuck.
Hey.
That's a
But
good one.
I forgot about Scream 3 kind of quote.
Yeah. As I said, it's one of those movies that if you threw in a little bit of slapstick comedy and you didn't include any of the original cast, you just made them all parodies of themselves, you've got a scary movie, and you've got a better scary movie than Scary Movie was.
Mhm.
Well, hell, you got Jay and Silent Bob and Carrie Fisher in this movie. And
Yeah.
they're both have very funny, memorable lines, actually. Hey,
Yeah.
Silent Bob, is that Katie Couric thing? Or, like, fucking, I was almost Princess Leia. Like,
Yeah.
those are quotes. But they're not, like, essential to the movie or from our main character.
And here's a little side note. Apparently, in the continuity of the universe, in Jay and Silent Bob's universe, anyway, their studio visit there coincides with their first movie, Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah, Jay and Silent Bob's back. That's why it was shot on the same day. It was shot at the same time. So that's why Wes Craven appears in Strike Back. I just wish we got a.
Do you know why there are no quotes you can remember from Scream 3?
Because there isn't any.
No, I just looked it up and there is none.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no quotes. It's only like whole like long ass like sentences, like a couple different people saying different things.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no like one line quotes.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
nothing.
There's none of them.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying. There isn't any.
There's like only two I can think of. Is like, hey, look, Silent Bob, it's that Katie Couric bitch. And there's a little bit more to that. And Carrie Fisher going, I was almost Princess Leia.
Didn't she go down, Cheech and Chong? That's what you're missing, Trenchy.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, man.
That's all right. I watched it earlier, as I said, and audience, if you want that movie to be slightly hilarious, watch it on double speed. Believe me, it's funny, gruesome, funny, and Stewie speaks normally.
Dewey, normal.
Stewie, Dewey.
Dewey,
Dewey.
but he speaks normally instead of going, hello, Gail. It's kind of, hello, Gail.
Yeah, if you watch it in normal speed, he almost sounds like the dude from Sling Blade. But the way he's so slow, it's almost like he's imitating Carl.
It's like the rest of the movie's moving at normal speed, but he's moving at half speed.
Yeah.
Start snoring now?
Speaking of Dewey has like his dumbest moment in the franchise of this movie, where he gets knocked out by a certain item, in the most slapstick way ever, which I love. But, I mean, it is pretty stupid. But I love it.
Oh,
Stupid.
here's a good quote between Dewey and the detective Mark. Dewey says, "Is that a threat, detective?" And Mark says, "When it's a threat, you'll know it." And then Dewey says back, "Was that a threat?" Ridiculousness.
Oh, and in the chat we have a Natalie saying, "Hey guys,
It was
Well, that's what I was saying, Ellie.
welcome to the hate train of Scream 3."
All over the world. Start a hate train.
It's the only movie in the franchise I can't get along with.
Yeah, me too. It's I have no. You want to know why? How bad this movie was? Out of all 4 Scream movies, this was the shortest one.
Mm-hmm.
the thing is, like, I like it enough. I don't hate it as much I do like Halloween 6 or Jason Goes to Hell. But it's like at the end of the day, like I rewatch Scream 1 and Scream 4 and Scream 2 more than I do this. Usually I just skip it. Like if I'm gonna watch a couple movies I'll watch Scream 2 and Scream 4. Or Scream 1 and Scream 2, or Scream 1 and Scream 4. I'm never watching Scream 3 unless I have to. I'll watch clips of Scream 3. I'm not watching the full thing a lot, anyway.
But I do agree, one of the best moments in the movie, just because of the comedic value, is the slapstick butt of the knife to the forehead.
Yeah.
He was quite literally the butt of the joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, but it's Dewey.
I think that was Dewey's main involvement in the franchise, was to be the comedic relief. Because nobody's going to take him seriously as a cop or as a sheriff.
Not anymore.
Even in the first one, I wouldn't have taken Dewey seriously as a sheriff.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
The thing is, it works in Scream 1 because Scream 1 is meta, and they're like, oh, like in all the horror movies, the cops are usually like not that good at their job. So they brought in Dewey, the like most clumsiest and dumbest, like very absent-minded. That works.
Roman says exactly, but I'm not the villain, Sydney. You are. Sydney is the villain in Scream 3.
Technically, at the end, she is the villain.
I'm reading the quote from Roman, and he's saying exactly that I'm not the villain, Sid. You are.
Sydney's not the villain.
We'll get to how I think she's the villain when we get to that point in the movie talk. It requires my fluffy logic.
Obviously, she's not the villain. These are some of the most ridiculous lines. All of this is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I'm reading through all of it. So what?
Try sitting through it, dude. Even at double speed, it's torture.
Was Gale and
I sit through it at normal speed.
Do you know why you kill people, Roman? Do you? I don't want to hear it.
I mean, I like that Gale got to punch someone in the face in this movie. She punched fake Gale in the face. That was cool.
And again, Scream 3 has its moments. They just didn't have enough of them.
Yeah. I mean,
I think the best scene is when they're all in the house and they're all, what's that smell? Fucking Dewey or whoever it was lights the fucking lighter and the whole house explodes.
Yeah, it's like, I will spare whoever smells the gas. And the one dude went back in to read the note and he lights the lighter like a dumbass.
What the fuck?
To read the note in the dark.
Oh no.
To be able to go in the house to read the note in the dark.
Okay, let's put this into perspective so that everyone can be on the same page. A house that is filling up with gas is going to smell. Everyone's going to smell it. So running into a room
Wait, what
with
the?
a note where you've got it smelling of gas, why would you light a match or a lighter?
Well, the thing is, Deacon, nobody smelled the gas. The people that even left the house didn't smell the gas. They left the house because they thought the killer was going to lead them into a trap in the house.
Well, yeah, but in real life, you would smell the gas.
And a gas explosion that big to incinerate the individual would require the room to be filled with gas.
Oh, yeah, man. That house.
Yes, you smell gas. You don't smell carbon monoxide, but gas, you smell easy. What the fuck is that smell? It's gas. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Cool looking. I mean, it was stupid, but I like seeing them roll down the hill. And I thought the house explosion was like, damn, this motherfucker
The
is blowing
house
up.
explosion was.
Yeah, I
That
like
wasn't
to
Scream.
think that it's not realistic. That's
Yeah.
that's the only problem with most of Scream movies. And please correct me if I'm wrong here, Mark. But with most of Scream movies so far, yeah, some of the kills have been a bit ridiculous, but they haven't actually ignored the laws of physics, causality, or the way things actually work.
No, you're right. In
The garage door.
In Screams 1 and 2, minus a few things aside, the kills in those two movies were legit kills. The house explosion, you would have had to have the gas turned on all day, all night, and the minute that anybody walked into that house, they would have known there was a gas leak.
Yeah, but it was a random explosion. If you have random explosions in your movie, I usually like it. So I kind of was just, so I'm just kind of like, oh, explosion, nice.
This literally went to Halloween 2. You have a big ass explosion. You have people becoming relatives.
Yeah,
Not wrong.
Jump the shark.
Except for Halloween 2 did better.
Oh my god, it's an episode of Dawson's Creek. Someone's relative dies in a house fire. Someone's long lost relative they didn't know was a brother turns up. What happens next? Join us next week.
That's almost what it seemed like they were trying to do. The Screen Through is make it into a serial.
Will Dawson get Detective with Sydney?
Detective Dawson. When it said Dawson, it would have been Detective Dewey.
Detective Dewey and sidekick Sydney.
I think though, like Trent was saying when we were talking earlier, though, this is the one Scream movie that where you really, from opening to the time you see her until the end of the movie, Sydney is just not, like not today. She from the time you see Sydney to the end, Sydney is just balls to the wall like, fuck you. I've had enough. I'm coming for you.
This is sadly the movie where Sydney's at her most badass, which is why I still like it. Because Sydney's like, fuck it. At the end of the movie, grabs a gun, gets on that bulletproof vest. She's like, I'm gonna kill you, motherfucker, and she hunts that bastard. And she fucks him up.
This is Roman. I mean, you'd hunt Roman down too.
This is where I have to bring up that this is where Sydney is a bit of a villain. Roman's on the floor. He's been stabbed in the heart. She intentionally stabbed him in the heart while she thought he was dying on the floor. Instead of restraining him, she then shot him. That's cold-blooded murder. That's not self-defense.
That's called in the moment, fuck Roman.
Yeah, but it's not self-defense at that time. That's murder.
She's got so much PTSD built up, no one's going to convict her. No one's going to.
If you go by logic, yes, Deacon is right. But with the size blade that Sydney stabs Roman with, when she stabs him in the chest, she would have hit a major artery, and he would have been gushing blood like a fucking geyser.
Well, here's the thing. I agree Sydney went too far, but again, I see this as like a revenge type thing. Like, this bitch admitted to killing her mother and shit, or like at least organizing the killing of her mother, which is bullshit, by the way. I still don't agree with that, but like, you know, in that moment, Sydney's like, you fucking fucked with my mother. You pretty much caused everything from part one to happen. So you ruined my fucking life, you little shit. I'm gonna fucking kill you. Like,
Yeah.
I've had enough of you.
Oh no, I agree with you, Trenchy, but that's vengeance, and
Oh,
taking
that-
it out on someone is murder.
Oh, I agree. It is murder. It's like I spit on your grave type shit. Like,
Yeah,
like
and I know PTSD and everything would have played an effect, and her sentence would have been light. But I still think she
wouldn't have been a sentence.
She should have been under house arrest and mandatory therapy, dude.
No.
That's
No.
fair. That's
I'm
not
sorry,
after
but
not after multiple occasions of everyone she knows getting like.
But the court doesn't care
Whacked
about
off.
that because those people paid for it.
Ever since she was a fucking like teenager in high school to now, you got houses blowing up and shit. I don't know. You get a good lawyer, she's walking.
Does this mean let's take your example, does this mean a female soldier returning who suffers from PTSD who accidentally shoots someone who she has a vendetta against is innocent?
Were they trying to kill her? Like, were they actually trying to kill her?
If the person's been subdued.
No,
then they
not
kill
subdued. I'm talking about this is all crazy in the moment. People aren't having time to sit around and think, oh, yeah. It's like that.
I agree with I agree with Deacon that she should have like gotten some sort of thing, like at least therapy. Get the chick therapy. She needs fucking therapy, but
I'm sure she already was on therapy. She was probably fucking had therapy.
Let me break it down. Let me break it down for what in California standards. Sydney, by law, would have she would have stood trial to see if she was competent to stand trial. She would have been going to therapy just to see if she could stand trial to begin with. That would have been mandatory.
She wasn't already in therapy after the first and second one?
No,
and this
she would have been.
It's never mentioned that she is or isn't.
I assume she probably was at some point.
Now, if the psychiatrist or therapist, whichever one you want to call it, had deemed that Sydney was competent to stand trial, she would have at least done 5 to 10 years for involuntary manslaughter.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly. But there's been real life situations of shit happening, and child molesters get less than fucking people that are doing drugs.
Yeah, that is true.
So you got to think about real life here. She gets a good enough lawyer. He paints a good enough picture. She doesn't do any time. The jury's a sob fest. Jesus, poor Sydney. She doesn't deserve jail. It's a poor white girl. Think about it.
Closing arguments. And this poor white girl, while having this individual on the floor while being stabbed in half, decided to shoot him.
The trial of Sidney Prescott, man, live. It's live,
Yeah.
man. We're bringing you the trial of
Yes.
Sidney Prescott.
Oh, if we're going to do the trial, then we have to go through the entire movie and bring up every charge.
Look,
Oh, God,
she's
okay.
not charged with anything. Sidney Prescott is a fucking hero.
The thing, I agree, Deacon, that she should have gotten therapy after that or something. But I don't think she's a villain, because if we're gonna argue Sidney was a villain, we gotta say John Wick was a villain in his movies because he's killing people because they killed his dog, and a lot of them surrendered, and he still killed them anyways.
Well, no one said John Wick was a good guy. He's like a hitman.
Yeah, John Wick was never a good guy to begin with.
He was
And I-
never,
John
like,
Wick-
And I said this
My
is when
God.
I have to argue she's a bit of a villain because she is guilty of murder. But that's the only thing she's guilty of.
I don't think it's murder at that point. They have so many different things.
Well,
Murder in the first degree, murder in the second
It
degree,
would be
manslaughter,
murder.
Yeah.
crime of passion,
Art,
premeditated.
it would be murder in the sense that when Roman is on the floor defenseless.
Yeah.
Nah.
Is aside from Deacon is what Deacon is trying to say here. It's but again we're not.
Fuck that dude.
Movie like no.
I'm not standing up for Roman in any way. Put that dog.
It
That
looks
dog
like
don't hunt.
no, she would never face any charges because
That dog don't hunt.
again, you could make a argument for self-defense because Roman did try to kill her and Dewey and Gail and everybody else in that movie.
Everybody.
So you could make the plea for defense. And it's not like Roman didn't have the gun still in his hand at the end of the movie.
Well, in that case,
Oh.
fuck you.
Alright, here's a question. Do you think I'm arguing that she should have gone to prison and not just shown at the end that she had to face the charges and kind of like go,
No, there would have been no charges. No one would have cared about that. Who, Roman's mom?
Okay, so Chuck, which is only Natalie. Natalie is Sidney Prescott hero
Look,
or
let me put it like this. If I was there and I saw her shoot him, I would have told the cops. He was still coming at her. She had to do it. She didn't have a choice. You know what? I would have said, you know what? No, fuck it. She's innocent. I killed him. He was down and I finished it. Fuck it.
So you would fall on your sword for Sydney, huh?
Yes. Yep.
Sydney's hot, man.
Oh, not because of that. Exactly, Natalie. Exactly. F Roman. F it.
We're not saying not to not fuck Roman. That's not what we're getting at here.
Like
Well,
I'm picturing like Roman's whatever family he has hiring and like a prosecutor type person, and it's like he was on the floor. He was defenseless. Poor Roman. You killed him. Like, fuck that.
But that's how
Bitch boy.
but that's how trials work. But I
Roman
think
got
at
what
the
was
very
coming.
but I think at the very least she should have been taken away in handcuffs.
At the very least, maybe
Real-
OJ
real
should have been
life-
in prison for murdering his fucking wife, girlfriend, whatever.
Real life, okay. Real life, Sydney would have been led away in handcuffs. Yes, they probably wouldn't have prosecuted her. They would have let her go. She would have been. She probably would have had to, put up the house for bail. But no, Sydney wouldn't. The most Sydney would have got would have been mandatory therapy.
I don't think she would have even been led away in handcuffs because at that point she's such a famous person. The cops would have got there and been like, "This is Sydney, the girl that's always trying to be murdered by people." They would have known immediately this is the victim. You see what I'm saying?
They never.
That has to be a cold ass cop that rolls up in there and is like, "Sydney, turn the fuck around. You're under arrest."
But they have to do it, dude.
No, they don't have to do that.
They do.
No, not if in real life they know who
By
Sydney
law,
is.
they have to.
They're not
Yeah.
going to go in there and
Doesn't
arrest
matter.
every single person.
Okay, would
Okay,
you like
but
that
Art,
they would risk their
Remember,
jobs?
The cops weren't there to
Art,
see what happened.
You're not Art. Even if it was fucking Joe Montana, they would if they thought he had done something wrong, by law they have to take him in.
They wouldn't have thought she did something wrong. All the people there would have been like, "Why are you handcuffing her? We are the victims. The bad guy is over there on the floor dead." You're telling me none of them would have tried to stand up and
And
be like,
why is the bad guy over there on the floor dead?
"Because he's the bad guy."
No,
And now
no,
he's over there on the floor
Had
dead.
a bullet
In that case,
he's
in that
got a
case,
bullet in
you're
his
all under
head.
arrest for suspicion of murder.
Yeah, they would have all been led away.
I agree. No, I agree that should have got something like, yeah, she should have got some sort of thing like therapy or something. At least I agree with the handcuff thing. But it's like, dude, she's not the villain, man. That's like saying the girl and I spit on your face is the villain. You know, she's not a villain. She just did
That's why I
something
said
fucked
a
up.
bit.
Y'all are putting too much faith in the cops, first off. I'm just going to say that right now.
Really?
Y'all are acting like cops follow the rules. You're acting like cops go by the book. You're acting like cops do this and that. And that's not reality.
No, in reality, cops were shot Sydney to begin with.
No, most likely not, because she was a white girl. And we know cops are racist.
Oh God! Oh God! No!
Hey, we're trying to be real here. Right?
Fair enough. But
Okay, then. Regardless if the cop that showed up there on the scene arrested her or not, she would not have faced any kind of actual prosecution.
No,
There would have been such an uprising and fucking riots and shit if they tried to actually prosecute her in any kind of way.
They would have remanded her to a therapist. There wouldn't have been no getting around that.
Like I said, she should have already been seeing a therapist to begin with.
Yeah,
And
but
again,
negating the fact that she would have to see one afterwards. You seem to think that because she saw a therapist beforehand, she doesn't have to see one because a court said she has to.
No, I'm saying that you think someone that's been gone through this so much shit would have automatically just been like, you know what, maybe I need to go see a therapist.
the thing is, the movie was giving her PTSD. Like when she goes into the house and into the set of her house, and she goes in that room and she's hearing Stu and Billy's voice and her mom and shit. Like, that was a dope scene. I will say that's an awesome scene. I mean, she already had some issues going in. Like, she was already fucked up. And I'm not saying it's okay what she did, but it's like, yeah, she should have at least been given a therapist at the end of the movie.
Jesus.
I see that. And
I
been
forgot
put
it was the half brother. You know they would have brought that up if there was any kind of trial, too, though. That it was her half brother. Whether that makes any point or
We're
not.
not saying that she would have ever stood trial, but at the end of that movie,
Which I still don't think she would have. I think there would have been it would have been a fuss if they tried to.
no, we're not saying that she would have stood trial, but she would have definitely been led away in handcuffs, or at least put in the back of the car.
Okay. How about we deal with this? Sydney is an anti-hero. Can we all agree on this? This seems she broke the law, she killed a man, but she did it for a good reason. Can we all agree on that? Anti-hero? Not villain, but not hero?
She didn't go after someone to kill. He was in the process of trying to kill, so she's still caught up in that.
She hunted him. She was holding her friend hostage, but she did hunt him and intended to kill him. She shot him 9 times.
Look, if anyone's holding me hostage, y'all have full permission to kill the fucker when they're on the floor. Okay? Y'all have full permission.
If anybody's holding me hostage, kill that bitch.
Just like, don't worry about the after effects. Just kill them, please.
You heard it live, folks.
Sorry. Look, we get into our horror movie discussions hardcore.
By the way, just want to say that was not a real argument. That was all banter. Everyone here is still friends.
Wait a minute. You mean Roman and Sydney aren't real people? What? Well, I mean, of course it wasn't. This is like movie talk.
I know. I had to clear it up for the people that might be confused.
I'm sure Natalie knows that.
Well, but
Or there's probably people that are too afraid to talk in the chat right now, like, oh, fuck. What's going on here?
I would hope so. Otherwise, I would have to look at her rather strange. And I would hope Natalie knows us well enough by now that.
Have you talked on that yet, Deacon? The half brother? How is that a thing?
is Deacon still here? He's
Yeah.
not talking.
Yes. I'm still here.
Oh.
I'm listening.
Yay!
Yeah, I'm listening, dude. It's all good.
But
But the question is, what about the half brother thing? Do you want
that could have been removed altogether, and it would have been a slightly better movie because of that.
No, I'll agree with that.
I agree.
In fact, I think there's a couple things that we could have removed completely, and the movie would have been that much better because of it.
Such as the original cast, and just kept it a parody.
Yeah, man. Hell, this was like 90s, right? This was 90s?
Sort like it was released in 2000, so it was probably made right there at the end of the 90s. Yeah.
I was about to say, this could have been Scary Movie. Like, literally. Because Scary Movie was 2000 as well. Like,
Yeah, it's what Scary Movie should have been, I think. It's what the hype made it live up to.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If we could have seen that original idea, what the original plan was, and not this last minute put it together and what we have. Chopped up bangs and half brothers and explosions. I don't know.
It's just weird, and
A waste of Lance Hendrickson.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I have to admit that when Sydney walked onto the set for the first time, the first image that popped into my head was, are we stepping into Freddy Krueger territory? It's like she's stepping from the real world into her dream world.
Yeah.
dark times.
Yeah.
Especially with the clutter hallucinations, they went a little far sometimes for sure.
Yeah, it It did feel like they were trying to throw some paranormal or parody stuff in there. So I do get the feeling this was the rejected bits from Scary Movie and what was left over from the script all stapled together.
Maybe they were trying to rip someone off. They were looking around like, what other movies are being made right now? They saw the name Scary Movie, and they thought it was an actual scary movie. And so they just sort of ripped it off and didn't realize that, no, it's a parody, and you just tried to make a serious movie with it. And so you have Scream 3. That sounds like logical.
It sounds weird because you've got a movie that takes the mick out of tropes of the horror movies, so it's classed as a parody, but it's a serious movie. You then have a series of movies that are classed as parodies of that serious movie, and now you have a serious movie which is a parody of the parodies.
I'm feeling a little woozy here.
Filmception.
It's getting... Scream 3.
Is it just me, or did they really hit it on the nose when they labelled the movie being filmed inside Stab 3?
Yeah, they really did.
They could have called it Stab.
I mean, the kills are lacking as well. Like, I feel like the movie's more like carries itself as just the character moments, because there are some fun character moments and shit. But most like the kills and just the story itself and the villain are just all pretty weak. Like, in the quotes are weak, besides a couple cameos. It's like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the two Gales. Oh god.
The two Gales were funny, but the thing is, like, I know we were supposed to feel for Parker Posey, but after a while she got a little annoying, and I was just waiting on her to die. I mean,
she did what Parker Posey does.
Was the whiny, annoying little bitch and got killed.
Yeah.
I just had enough of it after a while, because she kept trying to upscale Gale. It's like, come on, you're not gonna beat Gale.
Like,
Gale's
I'm gonna make you so much more likable when I play you. You know, like, fuck off.
Oh my god, they made a pun in the movie and we didn't realise until now. Gale meets Gale, Typhoon of Chaos.
Yeah, man. I do like it when Gale punched her in the face. I'm like, yay, Gale finally gets to punch someone in the face. I wish they would have done that in the fourth one with the other reporter chick and Gale punches her in the face. Because I like the punch in the face thing. It never gets old for me. It's just like, oh. And then the fourth one kind of dropped it.
So for you, your motto is punch me in the face until you tell me that you love me.
Sure. It's a weird way to put it, but sure, I'm down with that. That would hurt, though.
Trent is too innocent. I don't think he knows what the original of that is.
No, I don't. Wait, is that from a porn where someone got punched in the face repeatedly?
No, the original is sit on my face and tell me that you love me.
Oh, okay.
Did I just kill him?
No, my phone's ringing. I don't want anybody.
Ah. I thought it was my dog.
It can be annoying.
What the fuck?
What are you looking up, you? What have you found?
Oh, can't find any pictures of Roman biting the fucking bullet.
I will say Patrick Warburton had a pretty cool death. I mean, his death was pretty cool, and it was fun to see him in the movie. And he did drop a little line about Tatum. He brought up Tatum from the first one being Dewey's sister, so that was cool. But yeah.
Yeah, he did. He did have a bit of a pleasant one. It was kind of like he gets stabbed in the back twice. He gets slit across the throat, and he still manages to walk all the way there and alert them that something's wrong.
It was fun. Gets McCarthy, she was kind of cool. Gets punched through the window and stabbed in the back. Cool, kind of.
I can't remember the character's name. He's the one who in most movies dies first. When he gets thrown off the balcony, I was hoping he'd hit the swimming pool so he'd live.
Oh shit! I forgot who it was.
I can't remember his name, and I'll just say I didn't want to say it, but the black guy, the one in the house who gets killed and then thrown off the balcony. It's kind of like, I wish he hit the pool. That way he could have survived, and he could have just been kind of like, yes, I didn't die. I've been fearing this the whole movie.
I remember the black dude. I remember liking him, but besides that, he didn't really stand out. Like, he literally was the movie token black guy, sadly. Which it shouldn't have been like that. But, it was.
But that's like most Scream movies. Unfortunately, if you watch 1, 2,
they literally
3,
took out the black dude at the very beginning of the second one. Like,
yeah, and in the first one, there is
bathroom stall. I was gonna say there ain't even there's not even in the first one.
Yeah.
In fact, the first one had like the widest cast you could imagine.
I think that's because they wanted to stay away from the trope of the token black guy dying first.
Like,
they wanted to have an all-white cast.
But here's the thing, though. Here is the thing: the black guys, the token black guy's death scene in Scream 2 was so much better than what the black guy in Scream 3 got.
Oh, yeah. And especially the one in Scream 4, the cop.
Yeah.
Oh, and
that was
the cop who gets stabbed in the forehead.
That was stupid.
That was stupid. I admit. The like I said, the bathroom stall, knife through the ear.
That was actually brutal. That was
great.
Like, the thing is, like, he has a cool moment where he like tackles Ghostface. I think the guy in this movie, he could have had a more heroic thing. Like, he could have gone out pretty good because he was a decent character. Just they did nothing with him. He could have been the next Cotton Weary and been like the hero of the movie, and I think everybody would have been fine with that. I would have been fine with that. Like, still have somebody badass, have him like also play a bigger role.
Speaking of Cotton, for him to be, given the hero's medal at the end of Scream 2, he sure went out weak in Scream 3.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
fucking Ray Donovan. You can't just do that shit.
Exactly. I mean,
he wasn't Ray Donovan back then.
No, it wasn't. But fuck.
I think
it was stupid.
Go ahead.
Oh no, after you, Mark.
I was gonna say, you build him up as, okay, in Scream 1, he's in jail doing time for a crime he didn't commit. Scream 2, he gets out, is your hero, and then you have him go out like a little fucking bitch on his hands and knees.
Yeah.
I guess they thought they were really sending a message at the beginning of the movie with killing him like that.
Maybe, but
it was lame. But they thought like, ooh. You know,
I think the writers fizzled out on that one because the first few kills or the first kill in 1 and 2 are memorable because it's usually an important actor or it's a very noticeable kill. One of the two. Whereas in 3, it's neither noticeable nor famous, but they decided to get rid of one of the main characters instead, but they did it in the most stupidest way possible.
Yeah.
Mhm. And as we said before, this one was rushed. It was supposed to be something totally different. It was Matthew Lillard, and Columbine came around, and they had to scrap it. So this movie was extremely rushed, and that's probably where all the plot holes come in.
Plot holes? They're not plot holes, they're plot craters.
Yeah.
Fair enough. They are plot great. I agree. They should have waited instead of shitting out another sequel.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a contract thing, but they should have waited, man.
Or rebranded it. I mean, could anyone look me in the eye and say that movie would have not been great if they named it Stab? So it was a parody of itself.
No,
I
it would have
think
been
it was- Yeah, just a placeholder. You could say it's a sequel to Scream, but it's its own thing, like a spin-off of Scream, and then use it as a placeholder so you can rework Scream 3, so they could still have the rights or whatever. I don't know what was working back then. So they can then make Scream 3 good, and then maybe you could make another Stab movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then you could have your silly Stab movies, which would have been a bit better than Scary Movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I'm sorry I keep on harping on about that, but Scary
No.
Movie was crap. This movie would have been the perfect substitute.
Scary Movie would have been is like a regular comedy, but this would have been like a black comedy,
Yeah.
an
And
actual
it would
good
have,
one.
yeah, it would have fit perfectly in the black comedy genre.
Mm-hmm. And look at who you had in the Stab cast. You had Tori Spelling, Heather Graham, and
It's classic 90s.
yeah. So you could have built the whole Stab franchise around those two.
Fucking who else?
Yeah.
And they have Johnny Depp as Billy, or who played Billy? Because I know there was a scene of Stab Billy. I forget who it was.
I don't know, but Johnny Depp would have worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would actually look. Well, you know that one guy they say that's like Johnny Depp's doppelganger,
Yeah, Skeet,
like their
good old Skeet.
Skeet Ulrich, whatever. That's his
Skeet
name.
Skeet
right?
Ulrich.
They look similar, kind of.
And the guy who was directing the Stab stuff was Robert Rodriguez.
Oh shit! That
Yeah,
would've
so,
been
yeah.
cool.
So
You could have really built that up as a franchise because Robert Rodriguez is fucking pretty damn good in most of his stuff.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
It would have
so-
fit with the whole meta thing.
Especially
Yeah.
stuff like that.
I know. All I was going to say was, yeah, they missed an opportunity. They really did.
Mhm.
Oh, don't die on us. The stream's not over yet. We need 4 people.
Oh, little woozy here.
Oh no! Someone grab a phone, throw it at his head. It might wake him up.
The reboot, you dick.
But can you imagine if they did do Stab as a twist off? I would have loved it, seeing as they had them on set for that day. If they had Jay and Silent Bob just in the movie as the two stoners that get killed at the beginning.
That would have been perfect.
Yeah, quick
That
and
would've
easy.
been awesome.
It's Silent Bob. It's this Connie Wang bitch, whatever the fuck it was.
Dude,
Connie
do you see that guy with the ghosty fucking face? Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Is he gonna stab us? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
obviously we do Natalie. if you ask, depending on which one of us you ask, we all have varying different favorite scary movies.
I don't.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't like that franchise. I really don't. It's pointless. It's crass. It misses the point of most of the movies, and it really does not do parody well. They confuse parody for slapstick.
I
Are we
I
talking
like-
about the actual scary
Yes.
movies? Or scary movies?
Yeah. Scary movies, the actual scary
Oh,
movies.
yeah, yeah.
Part 5 was shit though. I like the first 4 enough, even though the later you go on, the weaker
Look,
they get. Except for part
It's never gonna get funnier than the fucking dude with the little hand. My turn.
Yeah.
And, like, sticks his hand in the food. It's like no one's. We're done. We're good.
Yeah, it's kind of no. It's
Yeah.
gross out humor. I don't mind gross out humor,
No,
but
that's just like the funniest part.
that's just it's a hodgepodge of bad humor.
No, it's not. It's not good.
fair enough.
But that's my opinion. And if you say we're going to be having a watch along to watch them, I will kindly decline.
No, we won't.
Like I'm not even doing it when you guys fuck that shit. I'm
There,
out.
was- there were other reasons I watched that as a young man. The biggest reason being Carmen Electra at the beginning, getting stripped down and running through the water. That's
Yes.
pretty much the main reason.
I mean, Shannon Elizabeth too, man. Shannon Elizabeth
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, but I was a big Carmen guy.
Oh, Carmen's great too.
But the stab cast in the Scream was Tori Spelling, Jennifer Jolie, and David Schwimmer
David Schwimmer.
as Dewey.
Still,
That
about
worked.
yeah. But he could actually pull off a competent cop, whereas the guy they got playing Dewey in the actual movie, he can't pull off an intimidating cop, even if he tried.
It's funny how David Schwimmer from Friends can play like a lawyer or like a serious cop better than David Arquette, who played a wrestler. Like David Schwimmer, fucking the dude from Friends is more intimidating than a wrestler. How does that work?
Hey, David Schwimmer's that's just a sign of a good actor.
David fucking Schwimmer, man. The giraffe from Madagascar is a badass.
So you had
You heard about that Friends reunion show? Like they're bringing Friends back. I don't fucking.
yeah. They're since the first Prince of Bel Air did it. They're having a Friends reunion special.
Oh yeah, I saw that happen. I don't know. I'm not interested. I'm not interested.
For Stab, you had the 90s queen of television, Tori Spelling, and
Yeah.
and one of the friends as your two main stars.
See, that would have been a good
Yeah.
movie.
And it was directed by Robert Rodriguez. Tell me that shit wouldn't have worked.
Okay, how bad is this when we're finding the imaginary movie inside of a real movie more interesting than the real movie?
Sorry,
Because-
Scream.
Listen, they just
Because
goes to say how little there is for Scream 3.
yeah,
The main things we had to talk about was the prosecution of Sidney Prescott,
yeah,
and now the movie within the movie that could have made a great black comedy.
yeah.
Oh, and Jay and Silent Bob and Carrie Fisher.
This is what we get from Scream 3.
Yeah.
Well, they did give us one good thing, which is an absolute impossibility, but was humorous. The butt to the forehead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. That's one of my favorite Dewey scenes of all time, where he gets knocked out by the fucking knife, because it's such a Dewey thing. Dewey would get knocked out by the knife, not murdered, fucking knocked
Interesting.
out.
Tristan has it right. I love Officer Doofy. Oh wait, wrong movie.
Yeah.
Don't bother me when I'm cleaning my room.
What's up, Collector Man?
Are you sure you're cleaning your room and not sticking your willy in the vacuum like Mom told you not to?
You missed a lot of great conversation about Scream 3. Not really, but
Hey, Collector Man.
The thing you missed, the big thing that you missed is in a real life situation, Sydney would have been arrested. But in the movie situation, she would have not been arrested, but she would have probably been taken to the police station for a debriefing. And that's about it.
And then
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it
I'm
was
quite
funny.
happy to follow the movie's logic and laws. It's
Yeah.
just in a
Well,
real
the
world
reason why
scenario.
the reason why, and again, the reason why she would have just been taken to the precinct is because you had the detective that was already out on the scene. He's gonna vouch for anything that she says because it's all, he's a witness to it.
well, that's what I was saying. Like, are they all just going to be like, no, she killed him and he was defenseless? They're going to back her up. You know they're going to back her up.
Oh, this is why I'm saying in the movie universe where they've placed it, the rules that we know
right?
about, she would have been taken to the police station and that's it. But not in handcuffs, but just debriefed.
Or maybe
real
to,
world
definitely to a hospital.
Yeah, but in a real world situation, she would have been taken to the police station in handcuffs, but probably not charged, but definitely taken to the police station in handcuffs as a precaution.
Yeah.
Just because it's
Well,
procedure.
most likely taken to the hospital in handcuffs, and they would have questioned her there. And if it still needed to be done after she was released, then she would have been brought to the police station.
That I agree with, dude.
And that goes with pretty much everyone that was there.
Yeah.
Because they immediately take you to a hospital and make sure you're not.
Yeah,
They don't want you dying at the police station and then you get
my,
bullied on.
my only argument is she would have been seen as a bit of a villain because she did commit murder, but self-defense murder, as Art and the others have argued successfully for.
Yeah,
You would have had a case for justifiable homicide.
Yeah, so this is why I'm saying the most that she would have served is, as Art said, being taken to the hospital, questioned, and maybe questioned after at the police station, but that's about it as far as the movie goes. In the real world, so yeah, justifiable homicide, self-defense.
I think we can all agree on that it was very an anti-hero moment for Sydney. Like the other two, she was a straight up hero survivor, but in this one, she had an anti-hero moment where she did do something bad, but she had a pretty good reason for doing it. But it was still a bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The whole.
you don't.
I don't know. Roman sucks. That's what I know.
Oh, I'm not saying Roman didn't suck. If you're going to ask me, did he deserve to die? Fuck yes.
Oh, no, yeah, he deserved to die. I just mean the whole, like, they could have made such a much better
The whole
character.
fucking movie. I think what I was trying to say is the whole fucking movie sucked.
Yeah. But they could have changed the bad guy at least, and it would have been a little bit better. You know.
But I
Roman
will.
just, I didn't do it.
To be the weakest in the franchise of 4 movies, I will say that's not bad because it's nowhere on the level of some of the other bad movies like Jason Goes to Hell or fucking the Nightmare remake or
I hadn't
some
even
of
watched any of it. Does anyone watch the Scream TV show?
Yeah.
I
I
have.
have.
Is it any good?
Mm,
If you
I will say that season 1 is a little boring. It gets better in season 2, and season 3 is where they really go into,
No.
is where they really go into like actual Scream territory.
yeah,
Those
season
fucking
1
bangs.
season 1 is basically Dawson's Creek with murder. Season 2
Yeah.
is Dawson's Creek meets Scream, and season 3 is Scream meets Dawson's Creek.
With Breakfast Club references, apparently, according to the trailer, which I was not
Yes,
a fan of.
sprinkled throughout.
That pissed me off. I'm like, why are you guys referencing Breakfast Club? Like, why are you trying to be Breakfast Club? It's a Scream. They're not the same. Don't do this.
There is one thing that no, it's not really Scream related, so don't worry. My brain went elsewhere for a second.
You're good.
I don't know why it went there.
That's what she said.
Collector Man bringing up Gail's hair. Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Jail's hair is the star of this movie.
We all know.
It's really bad. They even fucked
Hair.
that up for the fucking movie. How do you fuck that up? It's Courtney Cox. How do you fuck that up?
With great
Yeah.
effort, apparently.
Was little
Great
effort.
vengeance and furious anger. Oh wait, wrong movie.
Look, I remember the time period and that kind of bangs. That was a style, but hers were like so fucking extreme. Like it was weird.
It was like she was trying to cover up some kind of birthmark or scar on her head.
But she doesn't have any birthmark or scar
I
on her head.
know.
What the fuck is she doing?
I know. That's the weird thing.
You got the.
I can understand someone with bangs if they're even. I can understand someone with short bangs and long bangs. But
Those
having
weren't
bangs
just
that
bangs though. Those were like, what the fuck was that? That was like a bowl cut?
they were uneven bilateral bangs.
Exactly. They were uneven too. They were like at an angle. It's
Yeah.
like, what the
Did someone sneeze while cutting her hair?
Maybe. It's just weird though. Like you have that in Scream 3, and then you got like Hatchet 2 with Daniel Harris's eyebrows. It's like weird how this keeps happening in like horror films. Like there's always these weird hair things going on.
Yep.
Weird shit.
There you go. That's what happened.
Yeah, at this point, I really there's really I don't know what more we can say about Scream 3 other than out of the 4, this is the one I would rather not watch.
It's an okay film, but compared to the other 3, it's highly lacking. Like it's not the worst horror film ever made. There's been plenty worse in other franchises, or even standalones. But like compared to the other 3, it's the weakest link, man. It's
Yeah,
like,
you can consider Scream 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 4 a nice coherent family, one that seems to balance each other out. Whereas 3 is the half brother that was put up for adoption at birth.
Look,
just
all
like
I know
Rose.
I have this idea for a fan film now. The real Scream 4 should have been, like The People versus Sidney Prescott.
The People versus Sidney Prescott.
And it should have been a fucking trial movie.
Someone needs to make that movie,
Yes.
man.
People versus Sidney Prescott.
God, Natalie agreed with me about the bangs. Yay!
I watched Scream 3 last night, Natalie. This morning when I was in bed.
So torturous.
Let's just say there's a reason why my quote is from Scream 1 and not Scream 3.
Yeah.
There's nothing to quote from Scream 3. That's why.
And it's the reason why I recommend watching it on double speed, because you see the two Gales running around as if they are as if they're being chased around in an old 60s comedy.
It has to be done now.
Yeah, and Dewey speaks normally.
Dewey speaks normally.
It's great.
Like a donkey from.
Scream 3. That shit's an enigma.
Yeah.
I like Parker Posey too. Parker Posey. I didn't really like her in this though.
Yeah, I like Parker Posey. No, I don't like her as Gail trying to be Gail Weathers.
Yeah.
I mean, she was fun, like, in the beginning, but she outstayed her welcome and got a little annoying. Like, in the beginning, it was funny. I was like, okay, but then it just kind of dragged on a little long. I was like, just kill this bit.
All I know is if I saw those two walking towards me, I would jump into my house, close my door, and batten down the hatches and say, a gale force is coming.
Gale Force.
Like, Courtney Cox is cool. You know, I like Gale, but don't give me two Gales and then make the other one, like, super annoying. And, like you know, she was super annoying, Gale. Like, the first Gale was pretty cool. The other Gale.
She was trying to do Gale, but Gale dialed up to 11, and Gale's already dialed up to 11.
Yeah.
Why did she? I don't get it. Why wasn't trying
This
to take
one
over
goes to
her life?
11.
Like she was trying to steal Dewey away from her. It's like, no, you don't do that.
Why don't we just make 10 the loudest? This one goes to 11.
Dewey's her, you bitch. Like, dude, that's her, man. What the fuck are you doing, little Parker? Back off.
I don't know. The first Scream is so fucking great. Scream 2, not as good, but it's okay. It's good.
It has its
Scream
moments.
3. We went like Scream 2, and then like Scream 3. Just like when the Scream 4 went back up a little bit again, but
You went from great time to okay time to I'm done already to second round. Anyone?
Hell yeah! I mean, Scream 4 redeemed the franchise.
Yeah.
Scream 4.
the opening of Scream 4 alone with like the false openings where they kept like killing and like then it would open, but then it was like that's the fake opening. Here's the real one. And it just kept going. That was great.
Yeah, it's just. I think we can all agree that with the third, they didn't have the correct writing, they didn't have the right balance of comedy, and they took the meta thing to the point of bad parody. And Stab would have made a much better movie.
Yeah.
Still can't believe Stab had a better cast than what we got, and it's. I want that movie. You should have made that movie, people. Make Stab.
I still, it was funny though, because it's like this should have been Stab, because even Jenny McCarthy's character was supposedly, what I've heard, like the behind the scenes people said she was supposed to be a parody of Sarah Michelle Gellar, because I guess she was kind of a bitch on the set of Scream 2, because she says, I'm an older woman playing a teenager, and it just wasn't fun for her, so they did Jenny McCarthy as that type of character to parody Sarah Michelle Gellar's kind of action on screen too. And that would have worked so much better if it was a stab movie, man.
Yeah. Oh, so much better. Oh. We should a petition. Someone start a petition. Someone in the audience start a petition. I'll sign it. Make Stab.
Make Stab good again.
Yeah,
Great.
Give us the dark comedy parody we deserve.
Yeah, man. And not movie 6. Because that franchise is dead.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Collector Man, but 3 had a different plot type thing. They had to change it real quick. But still get it out. You know,
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Oh.
Goddamn,
like,
Columbine ruined everything.
Yeah, sometimes real world events affect media, and sometimes media affect real world events. It's a shame, but it happens. And
The fucking Scream franchise is so far removed from Columbine, I don't even see how they make the fucking connection. So many other horror movies came out at the same time still.
I kind of want to see what the fuck Matthew Lillard was going to be doing.
Matrix came out.
That Columbine ended it. Because what the fuck was Matthew Lillard doing in that movie? Like,
was he going to be in Scream 3?
He was. Yeah, he was going to be the killer. And the Columbine thing happened, and they're like, oh no, the plot's too close to Columbine. So
he wouldn't even have been a teenager then. He would have been like...
Yeah.
No, in his fucking 20s.
Let's have a look.
Scream 2 also had Randy still.
Yeah, you get bonus points for you having Randy. You get bonus points for introducing the replacement killers, who are way more entertaining than what you got from Roman.
What Scream 3 has the Randy videotape cameo.
And you got at least on Mrs. Loomis's side of things, a believable story.
Yeah.
You know, she was the grieving mother who was unjustly taken away from her child.
Yeah, you had the grieving mother, and then you had Mickey, who was just fucking insane, and he wanted to blame the movies just because he thought it would be a fun thing.
They didn't do it. Everyone else did the relative thing at the same time. This movie is so far away from all them other ones. They had plenty of time to know that relative shit didn't work in the 80s and the early 90s. We don't need to try it again now in 2000. It didn't work for Freddy's Dead. It didn't work for Jason Goes to Hell. It didn't really work for the later Halloweens. But let's make it our half-brother.
I know. The thing with Halloween, I feel like, yeah, they overused it, but I feel like it worked at the beginning. And I like the Jamie character too, but it's like, what everybody started stealing Halloween shit. Because why it worked with Halloween is Halloween was unique. But then once Halloween did it, you know, no one else could do it because it's not unique anymore. You know? Everything else, like, you're just ripping off Halloween. Jason, you're ripping off Halloween. Freddy, ripping off Halloween.
That is the stupidest reason to say it was Columbine, but they won. Apparently, the people who committed the Columbine killings, I will not name them by name because they don't deserve it. It turns out that in their diaries, in their notes, and part of their religious watching was Scream 1 and Scream 2.
I never knew that. That's the reason?
Yeah, so...
We suffer because of that shit?
So the parents, PTA, got lawyers, everything turned around and said, Scream influenced our kids to kill. So they had to change it so it was more slapstick.
No, your fucking psychotic children just had good taste in movies.
Because
That's all.
apparently it was supposed to take place in a school again, but they had to change it because they couldn't have it in a school due to it. And get this. They said you had the writers decided to be a bit of a pain in the butt, so they made the entire movie a poke of fun at the people who complained. Because who's the killer? The person obsessed with the people in Scream.
Yeah.
That makes sense because, like I said, Jenny McCarthy's a parody of Sarah Michelle Gellar, who was complaining on Scream too. So that makes sense.
If you remember the Columbine thing, they were blaming everything.
Oh yeah,
They were blaming movies, video games, fucking music, Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
Fucking Marilyn Manson, like, come on. What the?
Your kids were just fucking psychotic. And don't blame the bullying shit either, because I get it. Bullying is horrible, but there's a lot of people that have been bullied, and they didn't shoot up a fucking school. It's not an excuse.
I think the biggest problem is being able to legally sell guns to school kids.
But they didn't sell.
They didn't.
They didn't sell guns to kids. The parents of the kids already had guns.
Oh, but they also bought some from gun fairs from across state lines.
But they got the older adult to go do it for them, the friend, who did get in trouble for doing it. He had to do time.
But kids having guns, and they are hormonal. They are a little bit psychotic at the best of times because of the hormones and the confusion and everything else that's happening in their life. They don't need guns to help themselves.
Exactly, Collector Man. They even say it in the movie. Movies don't create psychos. They just make psychos more creative.
Yeah. Which is true.
Look,
I mean,
if the Columbine people hadn't have done that, they probably would have ended up being some kind of weird serial killer or something.
Yeah.
Killing people in a different type of way, but still killing.
Oh, it's a bit like the kids who killed one of their school friends and they followed the blueprints from Scream to try and do it. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like, you're going to kill someone anyway. They just followed the blueprints.
Yeah.
But
that was another... But unfortunately, that was something else that added to the fuel to the fire of why Scream 3 was a bit dumpstered.
Yeah. Because the first plot sounds amazing. You know, Matthew Lillard coming back, killing a bunch of kids at a school for revenge and shit. That sounds dope.
Does it not say in 2 that Matthew Lillard's dead, though? I thought it mentions that they are both dead. Does it never actually say?
Well, in Scream 2, they definitely confirm that Billy is dead. They don't talk about Stu much.
The thing is,
yeah, but he got it. Yeah. He got it so hardcore with the fucking 100-pound TV on the head.
Yeah, but
I had to do the math on that a few times, and a TV that size back then, considering weight, landing on your head would have cracked your skull, but it wouldn't have crushed it. So there's a chance he would have lived.
Yeah, but he was already feeling a little woozy.
Yeah, but he wouldn't have survived getting electrocuted because that TV pretty much exploded on his head.
He was bleeding out pretty good too already. Because Billy got him pretty good with that knife.
Yeah,
give me his...
the amount of wounds that Stu suffered through Scream, right there at the end, he would not have survived. No.
Billy did not want Stu to live through that experience for sure.
If you want me to give you the odds of him surviving all of it, yeah, very, 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 very low. We're talking 2 to 1%. If we're chatting just the TV, then
Yeah, if it's just the TV, there's a 60-40 chance.
But yeah, with everything else, 1 to 2%, because he would need to have cranial surgery, he would have to have blood transfusions, he would have to have his wounds stitched up. Yeah, you're looking at lots of therapy.
He would have, just from the stab wounds, he would have been losing copious amounts of blood.
Yeah.
Then you had the TV on top of it. The human body can only withstand so much before it gives up.
Yeah, it can lose up to 6% of its blood volume before the body literally shuts down and can't be resuscitated.
Yeah, no, I know it's unlikely, and I know it's kind of like silly, kind of like the horror trope, bringing back someone that should have been dead, but they're not. But the thing is, so it had to be better than this, because this was just all over the place and very silly, and like you said, the writers were just trying to make fun of people at this point, like they weren't really in it, like the writers were pissed off, like it had to be better than this.
Yeah, it was either write a script on the fly, basically, or pay back the money they were given.
Exactly.
Oh, but yeah, unfortunately, real life sometimes really has bad consequences on media and vice versa. But it doesn't mean because there's a connection, doesn't mean there's a correlation, and doesn't mean one affects the other in a direct sense.
Yeah.
Just because I watch Candyman doesn't mean I'm going to jump out of someone's medicine cabinet with a hook.
Yeah.
Well, look at us. We all grew up on horror movies, and none of us have murdered anybody, so we're all good.
That we know of.
I was about to say that anyone knows about.
We're live. We saved that talk.
I can promise on my cold dead heart that I am innocent of any murder.
And I don't have a heart, so
Look,
there's no sense.
I'm not gonna make any promises, but all right, we're gonna play this game.
For the point, I was trying to make a point. Like we don't have to be completely honest here. We could have bullshitted a little bit, for just to prove the point, right? But
does that mean you don't need help moving the bodies in your basement, Trenchy?
Look, we're live, man. Can we talk about my dead bodies in the back room? Oh.
So you're not denying that there are dead bodies somewhere.
I mean, they're hanging on the wall sometimes, but that's about it. There's not too many.
You know what he's like? He gets lonely down there, so he has to take them out so he can chat to them. One's called Mary. She's the one who sits there with the cup of tea. He's got one called Bob. He's the one who sits in the corner of a banjo. And he's got one that he calls Little Sid, which is just a skull hanging from the ceiling.
Don't trust a therapist collector, man. Even they'll give you up. Only talk about it with your lawyer.
Well, let's go to the word therapist. The rapist.
Wait, what? Why did what? What?
Yep.
I think I just heard the word therapist and rapist in the same sentence, and I don't think I should have been hearing that. I'm very concerned.
Was that on purpose, or was that?
No, that was on purpose. But I think we've sat here and we've bashed Scream 3 to death.
I would
But
Scream 3.
well, I wouldn't say bashed, but we discussed Scream 3 to death.
I mean, I defended it a little bit. I mean, a little bit. Like, I don't think it's awful, but yeah.
I will defend the movie within the movie, but I will not defend the movie.
But before I get off here, I do want to, and I'm sure you guys will back me on this. I want to give a shout out to Carr from Horror Retrospective, who is celebrating 10 years on YouTube.
I
So
know
yeah,
it's a
man,
huge achievement.
she's
So
doing a live tonight. Come check it out.
Yep, she
Yeah.
goes live in 1 hour on her channel, and I think
if you guys are not checking her out, you should.
I am going to be taking a link to the video of her live broadcast that will be happening in an hour, and I'm putting it into the chat for you lovely people.
And Mark means check out her channels, you filthy bastards.
Yeah, all right. I'm already subscribed to her
She's a
channel.
beautiful girl. She's a beautiful
There we go. Collector
back.
Man and Natalie, a link to Kara's live stream that will be happening in 1 hour's time.
Fucking Trench just said he was too cool for school.
Oh no, he jetted. Rude boy.
Nah, I'm sure he just had an accident. He had to go resituate the bodies hanging from the walls.
I know, it's tea time. He has to get Mary ready.
This has been fun, as always. And I think I'm going to let the cat out of the bag now that when I am done with this, I am going to be tackling the Child's Play franchise.
Oh,
Fuck
one
you.
of my favorite franchises.
Fuck you. I love it. Gimbal! Give me the power, I beg of you.
So,
But Andy, we're friends.
this is the end, friend. So I am going to end this here, and I am going to thank Art and Deacon and Trenchy and Collector Man and Natalie for joining us tonight. And I'll be back next Saturday for Scream 4. The much better sequel that came after Scream 3.
And are you going to be watching Scream 5 when it comes out?
I probably will, as much as I'm dreading it.
Well, if you need someone to watch it with you to go, oh fuck, let me know.
I will.
You're a great chat, though. Y'all are the best chat. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're all
We've had-
beautiful.
We've had some
You too,
good people
Collector
in
Man.
tonight.
Natalie,
But-
everybody,
Oh, wait. Let Trenchy back in.
it's been a pleasure.
Ooh, Trenchy's come back. How was Mary?
Trenchy came back just in time for me to take it to the back room so we can talk about his dead bodies.
Ooh.
You scared him away. He didn't get it hooked on the wall good enough. It probably just fell.
Mary dropped her cup.
There's nothing, Mom. There's nothing. It's just the wind.
And on that note, I am going to end the broadcast.
Night, people. Stay creepy.
Good night, everybody.
Night, night.
Bye.